down, and there's a helmet with a round stuck in the shield. The shield had to be like this thick, man.
Wow.
There was a round stuck in it. And they were telling us, like, okay, now we're going to tell you what you're doing. You're going to collect.
Okay, guys, welcome back to episode 28 of 11 Bang Gang. Today, I got a retired Army Field Artillery guy. His name's William Stevo Stevens. Say what's up, dude.
Hey, how's everyone doing, man? I'm Stevo. I go by Storytime with Stevo.
All right, so here we go. You went to the Middle East when you were 19 years old. So the opening question I want to ask you is, you were there in Desert Storm very early on, and you deployed to the desert. We then do 20 years of war in GWOT. So that's Iraq and Afghanistan. And now, after all the promises of no wars, and I'm going to stay away from being political, but at the same time, we're now back again for round 3. What's your thoughts on that? I mean, you ain't got to get into a political opinion, but like, I mean, it's like all the shit we seen in GWOT and Desert Storm, and it's like, we just can't stay away.
Well, I don't think it's for weapons. I don't think it was ever for weapons of mass destruction. I mean, because like I went in after Third ID and Operation Iraqi Freedom. And why did the Marines and Third ID go to the museums?
Yeah,
go to the museums to look for what? What were they looking for? Rumor had it that what is the name? Saddam Hussein had a Stargate. I mean, don't get me started on him.
Yeah.
Hitler had a Stargate. I'm not gonna lie. They said Hitler had some type of weapon. I believe, from hearing some of the people, Iran is sitting on a Stargate.
Yeah.
That I heard not lithium, but tritium. Is it called tritium? It's a new lithium battery.
I think so.
The only country that has it is Iran.
Yeah.
So they found large deposits of that, and I don't think it's for gas, man. When you have war, people get rich. Bankers get rich and all that. So I believed all of it at one time. I was one of those. I believe that we're going to war for patriotism and all that. And, I didn't join the Army for patriotism. I joined the Army to get away from the battlefield at home.
Yeah.
So today, I won't lie, I'm not Republican or Democrat. And the first time we did it, I threw my MAGA shirt out the window when I was driving in my RV out helping veterans on the road. And I decided, because I was getting a lot of hate online about what party I belonged to. And I always have been Republican, but I'm nothing now, man. Because I'm a huge history buff. Everything that told, JFK, 9/11. Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started on, I call them the black cap community.
Yeah. I mean, you see so many guys who are just at this attitude where they're just like, fuck it. Because it's like, nobody can win. And, you get to the point of, like you're talking about, where it's like, dude, some of these conspiracy theories sound better than we went for gas. But don't underestimate, like you said, and I think you're right, the military-industrial complex is a strong unit, and they will do whatever it takes to sell some missiles and spread freedom around the world.
Well, what I don't understand is why we spend billions and billions of dollars that we could be feeding homeless people and trying to keep people alive. They got what, $1,000, $2,000 drones that are taking our Tomahawks and taking our aircraft carriers out.
Yeah.
Don't tell me, man, the aircraft carrier caught on fire because of a laundry fire. $1 billion aircraft carrier, nuclear aircraft carrier burned up because of a laundry fire. Come on, man. 2 of them went back to Greece, man.
I mean, they, like, the whole thing is like, everyone's like, oh, the information, they're telling us everything. And I was like, no, they didn't tell you everything. Because like all the color revolutions we did, like the older I get, the more I realize that, like, and I'm not saying this completely, but you start to realize like we're not always the good guys.
No, go all the way back to the Boston Tea Party, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, go all the way back to the Boston Tea Party. All that revolutionary stuff and all this stuff, I believe in one thing, man. If I didn't have the background, I got the Betsy Ross behind me, bro.
Mm,
The 13 original, man, being a true patriot,
yeah.
trust God, not the government, bro. Got it right on my shirt.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, I agree what you said earlier, where you're like, when I went to war because I believed in America and I believed in this, like, and I don't want to call it propaganda, but I know it is kind of propaganda, really. But it's like that sense of patriotism because you just wanted to do it. And then, like, now I understand why they recruit you at 19, because by the time you're 35, 40, you're like, I don't know, man.
Why do you think all these generals got relieved, man? They're not yes men and yes women.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that to the American people, man. I mean, we built this country on the founding fathers, man, Like I hear people saying that, I even wrote it in my book, The Broken Mirror, where, you have terrorists, they say Allah Akbar, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We don't say God, God, God when we're going into war or combat, These people die for their gods.
Yeah.
We're not dying for our gods. We're not dying for our president. We're not
Yeah.
dying for the oath that we took. We're dying for our Constitution to keep the American people free.
Right.
And like our freedom is getting stripped from us every day, man.
Well, that's the problem. Is that the question is the people that are calling the shot saying, "Hey, we're going to free these people." You start to wonder. Okay, humans are fallible, and the intentions aren't always pure.
Can I call you Alex?
Yeah.
Dude, veterans just speak out now, man. Like all those veterans that went to DC and did some stuff, they all got arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Veterans who speak out, man, are talking about taking their benefits away from them, man.
That's crazy.
I don't know, man. It's crazy, man. It's like you can't even speak no more about what's going on, man. Like everything is monitored. Like I would say, if you want to watch a good movie, man, Ice Cube was in a movie on Amazon Prime called A War of the Worlds.
Oh yeah.
He's an NSA agent.
Yeah.
Dude, they show you everything that's going on right in your face, man. And then they talk in that movie before even that they came out, data centers. They were talking about data centers.
Right.
The aliens came down and sucked out all the information out of the data centers, man.
I don't know. I agree with what you. Are we going full Fallout? Do we need to start?
Like I told you in the chat, man, people don't believe me, man. I'm thinking in the next year, man, you're going to have the suits going around being like, yo, man, you and your family can live underground for $10,000 and have a great community, Have you seen Fallout?
Oh, yeah. I love that show.
Now they're getting to go in episode season 3 to Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to tell you one thing. I don't know if you saw season 2, right?
Yeah.
You remember in episode 6 where, the lady from Canada, they found out that she was corrupt?
Right.
Do you watch all the way to the end, to the close?
Yeah.
Where they showed they were scanning out from the border of Canada and there was like skeletons. What did the banner say?
Oh, I don't remember.
51st state of America.
Oh, shit. Really?
Yeah, man. I believe those people know. I believe the people who did that movie, man, already in season 3 already, man. They got huge money, man. They know what's going on, bro.
Do you ever hear the theory that The Simpsons predicts the future?
Always, man. I'm watching Family Guy, Simpsons, and Bob's Burgers right now, man.
Oh, okay. So
The Simpsons predicted Trump. The Simpsons predicted 9/11.
See, bro, okay, those two things right there, like just those two, take just those two. And I researched it and I was like, I never watched The Simpsons, didn't really get into it, but Family Guy I love. But anyway, when I seen that, I was like, no way. And I was like, that is
I believe
insane.
I believe he's Illuminati, man. Like the dude, like I'm not trying to get into all that, but I believe the dude who created The Simpsons, and
right.
Seen the episodes where the Simpsons are on Family Guy and Family Guy's on the Simpsons.
Yeah.
It's like they all know each other. And don't even get me started on South Park, man.
Yeah. South Park. Like South Park's crazy.
South Park used to be good, man, until they went political, man.
Yeah, I feel like politics ruins everything. And that's honestly like why like I tell people because they're like, oh, why don't you talk about this? And I'm like, because bro, like that's not veterans come here because they don't want to hear about that shit. Because they
No,
hear
man,
it everywhere, you know?
I don't have
And
I don't have politics. Like I send out an outline on my show and be like, look, no bullshit, no politics, no
yeah.
fingers. You tell your trauma story. I ask you a couple questions, and that's it. You know,
Yeah. It's
we don't
like,
get in.
bro,
I very rarely I speak about what we're talking about right now. I thought we were just gonna. I was kind of blown away when you asked me that question. So
oh no, man. I think that it's a valid question because it's like somebody with experience who's seen it before. And that's the thing is I said this to my wife the other day. Every 10 years, I feel like I look back at my life and go, damn, what an idiot I was 10 years ago. And I'm like, is this going to happen to me for the rest of my life?
you know, when I was a private, I didn't realize this. So I did not know what artillery actually did
Right.
until I got older and sat on the hill and fought a battalion. A battalion, what was it? 24 guns, I believe.
Right.
24, like fire wreck for 24 rounds hitting the impact area. What that damage could do.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
when I was a private, we got to drive through the highway of hell. Like the engineers blew a path through the highway of hell. Do you even know what the highway of hell was?
Wasn't it like a 4 lane?
No, it was like an combined like expressway, like Route 1 going up. But like the Republican Guard hid all their equipment within the civilian vehicles and population on the high.
Oh, shit.
And then the A-10s blank carpet bomb, like they carpeted all that. We
Right.
had to drive through there, man. And let me tell you what, we weren't allowed to get out, but in a howitzer, you can open the hatches. And my chief was like, get out. Look, you'll never see it ever again. And dude, you could see like what's it called? Vaporized human beings, man. Like so
Damn.
still sitting on the trucks, dude, like this, man, with weapons and stuff, man. One guy was climbing on the ladder, bro. He was completely skeletized. And then you
Oh,
like
shit.
women and children in cars, like families in cars, just like trying to escape. Everybody was trying to escape, man. It was just crazy, dude. Like it took forever for them to clean that up, man.
Man.
And it just uh I didn't see a lot of people die like in my unit, but when you see that much death, man, that
Yeah.
with you when you're 19 years old, man. I mean, I know some of these kids have been in firefights at 19 years old, man, and like I never could. I don't think I could last in Afghanistan, man. After I hear like somebody was telling me, oh, firefights they last for like maybe 5 minutes, dude. Some of those guys were getting bombarded daily, nightly.
Dude,
I'm
I mean,
like,
yeah, like like, have gotten to some engagements that have went some time, but like these dudes that talk about like 16, 18-hour firefights and they're like, we couldn't get out of there. And I'm like, holy shit,
and then
dude,
when they're
that's insane.
get of
Well,
achievement,
anyway, yeah.
man.
So, all right, let's roll. Where'd you grow up at? Uh, yeah. Let's start with that. Where'd you grow up?
Just a nerdy skateboard kid from Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
Mm,
Yeah, and I'm here in Pennsylvania now.
right.
No place like home, man. Like the Wizard of Oz.
Okay, so you went back to where you started, huh?
Yeah, because like when I retired, I came back to Pennsylvania, but they always say there's no place like home. I mean, a lot of people retire here, but um, I bought a house after I retired. My daughter was born in 2007, and I was supposed to go to DC and work for the government, but my ex-wife wanted my daughter to be around her grandparents. So it was, and then my parents didn't travel. They didn't have a car. So I stayed here, man. I was just a homeboy, man. And you know what? When I left for the military and I came back, man, it was like my friends weren't even my friends no more, man.
Mm.
I realized my whole high school class was like Democrats. Carlisle is a Democrat town, man.
You
It's all
know,
Democrat, man. So I'm like, I don't care if you're right or left, man. I'm just a patriot.
Dude, it's wild, man. Like, I came back to this town and I'll run into a guy. I said I'd never come back here, but I did. And I'll run into a guy at the grocery store and see him and be like, it'll just be like, hey, and then they'll try. Like, they'll be like, well, our kids are doing this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, nah, man, we're not the same people anymore. Like, I'm not who you thought I am.
Yeah. I believe people ask me, I see these little clickbait things that said, what's one thing that the Army took away from you? The Army took the funny bone away from me, man.
Yeah.
I used to be like I still am like sarcastic, but like a really funny dude type, But
Yeah.
after the fifth combat tour with no weapon, writing for the call, Center of Army Lessons Learned, my wife at the time, because like I had been single for 19 years, my wife at the time, because I got married my 20th year, told me, and I also wrote it in the Broken Mirror, that I was not the same person that deployed my last time and came back. She was like, her lover was gone. Like, I didn't
Mm,
do anything, and that's why I basically referred myself to Walter Reed, man,
yeah.
Wounded Warrior
Yeah.
Transition Unit, man, because I didn't know how to be a father, man. And I knew that eventually I was getting out of the military and I needed to start being a dad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's good you recognize that. We'll get into that. All right. So, all right. Uh, you you joined the military in what year?
1988,
1988. Okay.
July,
So,
I was what is it, the late entry program. And then I left for basic in August. Yep. I was in
okay.
the Heart unit and left freaking go to Germany.
Okay. So, you expectation versus reality. I ask every single guest the same question at least once, and this is it. So, you join expectation versus reality. I don't know how much you knew about the Army, and then when you go to boot camp, how was it? What'd you think?
So I had an attitude.
Mm,
And remember, I told you that I bleached my hair, so my hair was kind of white. They loved shaving off my white, long, bleached hair like yours, but yours is probably not bleached. But yeah, I had an attitude, man. Like I was calling the drill sergeant sir. Army drill sergeants are not known as sir. So I
mm,
was star private. Me and this other dude. Like when I went in the Army, you wore black boots, and you had black boot day and white dot day. So I was like the idiot private that was attitude, and they made me spray the white dot on the boots. Like it would come in like an assembly line, and then I had to spray the stupid number on their steel pot helmet.
uh,
Like, and then, uh, yeah, I didn't really like basic. Like, I didn't think I was going to make it through basic, man. Like, I wasn't like a normal, like I had an attitude, man. I didn't like people telling me what to do. And then, um, you know, yeah, yeah, man. Some of the stuff that I learned back in 1988, 89, man. Um, so basically, it was all discipline, man. I mean, they took a boy and made a man, dude. Really.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
when I walked out of basic training and went to Germany, I was a whole different person, man.
yeah. I mean, that's the goal, right? I mean, the goal is to take some thug from the streets or some kid who's
And
shy or, it doesn't matter. And then you make it the machine that you need. Now,
I,
granted,
I have seen some of the failures that come through the ranks
oh yeah.
and some of the amazing soldiers that tell their stories about how corrupt home life was and where they are today. Like some of them are my friends are sergeant majors now. Some of
Yeah.
them done 40 years in the military. Some of my
Damn.
yeah, man. One of my
Damn.
buddies one of my buddies from Hawaii, man, Pasima, he just retired from 40 years, bro.
Whoa. That
Yep.
is a long ass
And
time.
he was just a terrible private, man. I'm like, these kids went past me like I was standing still.
Man, that's funny. So you go to Germany and I'm assuming somewhere around 89, 88. Um, when you get there, how was the fleet getting to the fleet? Because Desert Storm, when
So
did it kick off?
it's different. It's not the fleet, it's my unit. I was artillery.
Right.
I was in a battery.
Okay.
Um, so I was in a cohort unit, and what was funny was we all went to the replacement detachment in I want to say Frankfurt, Germany,
Hmm.
20 replacement detachment. And we all went into this room, and I always tell people, I was like, I always thought that we were all gonna, like, they were all saying, you're all gonna go to war and you're gonna die together. And we went into this room, and it was like a checkerboard on the floor. There were red checkers and black checkers. And I remember standing beside my battle buddy Jackson, man. I was on a red checker and he was on a black checker. And the guy was, it was a corporal, man. I didn't even know basic what, I knew a staff sergeant and basic training, but the corporal was like, so I was on red, right? Yeah. So I was on red, and he was like, if you're on black, you're going to Turkey.
Ah,
Looked over at Jackson, and I'm like, damn, Turkey, what's that? And the guy was like, you signed a dotted line for Europe, and Turkey is Europe. You're going to Europe.
wow.
Everybody else in the other red checker or whatever, you're going to Europe. You're going to Germany. Like, okay, like, where am I going to Germany? I ended
Yeah.
Dorndorf, Pinder Barracks. Like, I didn't know anything, man. I keep telling people, like, I don't speak German, but like Ausfahrt and Englang, enter and exit on the highways.
Yeah.
I thought that shit was a city, bro. I was sitting on the bus. I was like, damn, I looked at this one dude. I was like, damn, that's a big ass city. He was like, man, you're stupid, man. And then I went to Head Start, and I was like, Ausfahrt, Englang. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's funny. It's amazing to get sent, like, because I was just probably around 19 when I got sent overseas to like Thailand, Malaysia, East Timor, Yemen. It's like all these crazy countries.
I could have got a bonus, but I signed up to go to Europe.
Yeah.
Station to Europe, and okay. But I think I was on station for about a year, man. I did Grafenbeer, Germany, and I did Hornsfeld. And I did Hornsfeld, I was KP, and I got chased in the woods by boar hogs. That was terrible, man. And then the next thing I know, it was cold as shit too, man. Next thing I know, man, our commander starts telling us, so we start packing up wall lockers, and they're not telling us why, man. And I mean, they told us we were packing our stuff, man, and we may not ever see that stuff ever again.
Whoa.
Like, we wouldn't just inventory our room. Everything was taken out of the rooms and put into the day room, man. And I remember our commander sitting down, we had everything packed. We railheaded all our equipment, got them on the ships, and everything were gone. They weren't even telling us where we were going, man. Right. And then it was the buildup, for the shield. Okay.
Yeah.
European units were going to like start demobbing and start because like the Cold War era was going away, and they were deactivating units, and 2-1 Field Artillery 1st Armored Division was slotted to deactivate. But I remember our commander came out, and his wife had like a bunch of green army socks, and he like was handing them out for like the holidays. It was like, we got our notice, we're leaving on the 26th of December. Like, Merry Christmas. We're on the buses tomorrow and flying to Saudi Arabia. Like, what the hell? The port. We were going to. So, yeah, I got like a green army sock with a bunch of stupid chocolate in it and stuff. And that was like my Christmas gift in 89. Yeah, man.
Dang.
Yeah.
So you guys went to Saudi Arabia. When did y'all
No, actually, sorry.
90, is that when Desert Storm kicked off?
Yeah, so they were already building troop buildup. We left. So we were at the port. I was on the advance party. We were at the port for about a week and a half, and we were putting our stuff on they were bringing them off ships, and we slept at the port. We like slept in these stupid ass tents. Like, there was no AC or anything. It was the worst, man. I remember getting off the aircraft in Saudi Arabia, man. I was like, the heat just sucked me out, man. But we were at the port for about a week, man, and I think we ended up out in the desert. But see, the funny thing about the battery I was in, man, when you're a private, you don't know what the LD is. Like, they don't tell you what LD is, man. And I didn't even know what engineers were. Like, they followed us up. Like, we were a Bravo battery, 2-1 FA. We were kind of like, so you have, I'm going to explain this. You have a corps over a division. Okay. So you had 7th Corps Artillery, and then you had the division in front of them. And then you had like the tanks and all that, and a little old Bravo 2-1 Field Artillery passed the LD already. We were to take incoming and direct fire when the war kicked off. And, the war was only like 96 hours.
Right.
Very short, but we were dug in. So they were using the terrain to hide us. So, but as soon as we lifted our tubes, we took direct and indirect fire because you could see the Republican Guard moving across the desert doing things. And we had to like lay low, man, because all I know is my chief was telling me, Private Stevens, you got to dig foxholes. You have to dig foxholes. Like, why are we digging foxholes? And one of the Corporal Gonzalez told me, I remember Corporal Gonzalez told me, that's going to be your burial grave, boy. I remember that. It was wild, man, because like I was saying, like a lot of people don't believe me, man, but like we were at Chow and T-72 rolled into our position, was taking pop shots. And this is where I didn't know artillery was direct, because in basic, we didn't learn direct fire. We only learned indirect, and half of us didn't even fire a gun. But, dude, they took like 2 or 3 shots at us, man. I'm standing there holding my damn chow plate, my flashing in front of my eyes. And you could hear the echo of everything was not like radio, it was all wire radio. And you could hear the speaker boxes echo. And it was like, fire mission, direct fire, target that tank. It was like Shell PD, Fuse PD, Shell HE, charge 8 red bag. And I'm like looking, and all you seen was like the tubes all pointing at the tank. And then like, I know we didn't hit it or anything. They didn't hit it or anything, but it drove it away. But I was scared.
Damn.
It was scared. And then like, I remember our commander coming down on the radio saying that he was very proud of our unit and all this. And then like the war was going to start. And then I also remember, like I was only one of the, so I got promoted. So I was a mosquito wing. I was an E2. Don't call them Lance Corporals, right?
No, that's a PFC.
Oh, you do. So
first class.
A Lance Corporal is the double stripe, right?
No, he's got a mosquito wing, but then he's got cross rifles underneath.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was mosquito wing. So I was an E2.
Mm-hmm.
And I made E3. And I was one of the only E3s that got an ARCOM because a lot of people just got certificate achievements. But the number 1 cannoneer, the guy that loads the howitzer, broke his wrist. And my chief was like, Private, get up in here. Shoot these rounds, blah, blah, blah. And I wrote about it, like the story in my book called 96 Hours, where I fired 45-round mission because, like, back then they said the president had come on national television and signed an order that we were going to, do a ceasefire. And First Armored Division said, the hell with that. They did a 45-round prep.
Yeah.
And I remember, man, because as soon as I fired that mission, I was so broke off, man. I climbed up on top of the howitzer and it was dead night. I was laying on top of the howitzer and I didn't even know what an MLRS was, man. I thought we were getting attacked. And I could see from behind us, man, all these multiple lights in the sky, man. And that's where they were going, man. They were all going to the highway of hell, bro.
Man.
Yeah. So, I wrote about it. It's kind of interesting. My first book is all therapeutic poetry. So,
yeah.
That made me have a big head, man. I was like, "Oh, I'm an American hero," blah, blah, blah,
I mean, yeah, and then you go back, and I mean, really for the next, 11 years, there's nothing. And
funny. What was funny we didn't wear our chocolate chips until the day before we flew back.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You said that. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't because the Iraqi Republican Guard, they feared the BDUs.
Wow.
They feared us, man. Yeah, because I know all them guys. We did see some of the oil burning fields and shit, and those Marines were all coked in and like caked in oil and stuff. Can you imagine, man? Fight in an oil bath, man? Jesus God, man. And so a lot of them aren't here no more, man. A lot of them aren't alive no more.
I mean,
if you go on social media, man, you see there's very many people talk about Desert Shield, Desert Storm. It's all like Vietnam veterans, some Korean War veterans, and then OIF in Afghanistan. And the bullshit that's going on now. So
I know one. Now that I think about it, And I think the guy that my dad, because when I wanted to join the Marine Corps, my dad was he did not want me to be infantry, and he was like, "You need to go talk to this guy who's in Desert Storm, Desert Shield." And this guy told me some horror story about carrying the saw and wearing the mop suit for like 4 days straight and pissing in it and all that shit. And I came back and dad was like, "So what do you think?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm going infantry." And he's like, "You're such an idiot." But I don't even know if that guy's still alive.
No,
You know,
man.
no,
You know what? And a lot of people don't talk about this. I talk about in my book about depleted uranium poisoning.
yeah.
They weren't dumb when their shit was burning up and all that, and American soldiers were dancing around all happy and shit. This shit was on fire. The fumes and stuff were going through the desert, man. And
Yeah.
they gave us the stupid little pills, man, the iodine tablets or
Oh,
the little tablets. Man, I used to fake that I swallowed those, man. I never took none of those, bro. The only thing I got is 13 anthrax shots, man. I always
oof.
daughter's an anthrax baby, man. That's why nothing happened. Well, knock on wood. That's why she doesn't get any vaccinations or anything except a flu shot. So
Yeah, yeah, man. We get so many damn vaccines. I had to pull my record the other day, and me and my wife were going through that folder, and she was like, "What is that called?" And it was some vaccine called the T-Rex vaccine, and I was like, "Sounds experimental."
your boy, the guy I was telling you about, the dude Travis, he be talking about it's a peanut butter shot.
Oh yeah.
What the hell is
Oof.
a peanut butter shot, man?
It was the peanut butter shot is it's god dang it, it's a
Is that
normal shot.
poor thing?
No, it's an antibiotic.
Okay, I never got a peanut butter shot.
Yeah, it's funny because my dad told me about it, and I don't remember it being that bad. But dad said that it would make a knot because it's a common antibiotic, and I know somebody's gonna send me a message and be like, "You idiot, this is what it is." I can't remember the name of it right now, but yeah. So okay, so because you got a lot to cover, I'm kind of gonna take like almost a 10-year jump unless there's something crazy between Desert Storm and 9/11.
Uh,
So I guess
I made staff sergeant and got inducted to Audie Murphy.
okay,
That
okay.
was
So
the biggest things I ever did, getting inducted to Sergeant Audie Murphy Club, Leadership Club.
oh, that's tight.
Yeah,
That's
man.
good.
I
So
think
you
that's why
were
I started first class, it because I had that notch on my belt.
yeah, yeah. But see the thing is like so when 9/11 happens, I'm assuming that your unit, I'm assuming there when 9/11 happened, you still had quite a few Desert Storm, Desert Shield guys around, but you've got an RCOM from that. I'm assuming your unit's like, hey, dude, what was it like? I mean, did you get any guys where they're like, hey, your
Yeah,
experience?
I talk about exactly what we were talking about. So when the Twin Towers came down, I was at Riley. I was a gunnery sergeant, and so in the Marine Corps, let me get this straight because I was on a podcast the other night, and damn Marines came after me when I said I was a staff sergeant as a gunny. When you're artillery, you can be a gunnery sergeant.
Ah,
Can't
gotcha.
be a gunny in the Marine Corps unless you're an E7, right?
Right. That's
Okay,
right.
by the way. But I was a gunny and I was getting ready to become a platoon sergeant. And I remember because, like, I think only two people in my whole platoon had combat patches.
Wow.
I had a first armor and another guy had an 82nd combat patch. And he was light artillery, but it was the first time he was ever heavy. But I had all new privates, and none of my NCOs had combat patches. And I remember we were doing medical training in the day room.
Yeah.
Somebody turned on the TV and said, the Twin Towers just went down.
Shit.
As soon as that happened, man, I was pulled out and we were in a meeting, man. And like, we were getting ready to go to National Training Center and they pulled our National Training Center. And instead of going to National Training Center, we went and did all this training in Pinyon Canyon, not Pinyon Canyon, uh, somewhere in Kansas. I don't remember. Fort Riley was huge, man, in
Yeah.
Colorado. But yeah, I've been multiple times, different deployments. But yeah, man, they weren't ready for that, dude.
Mm.
Because I was mop suiting their asses like till tomorrow. And
Which is funny because I don't think did OIF have a Scud missile threat?
I don't think so because I know the
Yeah.
unit I was in, we were removing scuds from like playgrounds,
Mm.
like scud setup systems.
Yeah.
I know service batteries in charge of that. They would like go and scoop up scud missiles. Me, I got relieved.
Mm.
I got relieved, man. I snatched up a soldier, man. Back in the day, you could snatch soldiers up, but I became the re-enlistment guy, man. And I was taken out of my platoon sergeant position, and then everybody hated me, and then I was trying to re-enlist people during like our first deployment to OIF, man. It was terrible, man. But you know what? I made something out of it.
Yeah.
I re-enlisted everybody to go back again. Like 3 months later, they went back again. I called Department of the Army. I was like, yo, I called branch. I'm like, yo, I ain't doing this yet. Ain't no way, man. I've already been to multiple deployments, and like, they want to send me again, man? Hell no.
Okay, so you you got thrown in in an administrative role for that first one. So what about the second one? Where'd you end up going after that?
So I was the first time I was a gunnery sergeant, then I was a platoon sergeant, and then I got relieved as a platoon sergeant. So like a lot of my deployments are like they're called like intrinsic actions or desert operations, like where we would be on the border of Iraq.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't be in Kuwait no more. We would convoy up and be on the border. So you have Desert Shield, Desert Storm provided comfort. Then I was in multiple. So I went to Carson and did multiple deployments back and forth, operations for like 6 months. Then I went to Korea. I went back to Carson and did more multiple deployments. And then I went to Lewis. And when I was at Lewis, I got relieved there and they put me in a museum as a staff sergeant. But that's where I made sergeant first class, man, in the museum.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
How
man.
was that? How was going to the museum? Was it a good break from the operational tempo?
I was hard charging, man. Like when they put me in like headquarters battery for like the Corps, like there was a lot of profile people.
Yeah.
And I remember after we did PT, they came out and said, Sergeant Stevo, you're not giving PT no more in this unit. Like I was crazy, man. I was super in shape. And then I sat down with the division sergeant major, and he was like, yep, you're going to be tour guide at the Fort Lewis Military Museum. And it was like a joke. They were all wearing civilian clothes, and people had broke arms and broke legs, and people were like feeling failures and stuff. And man, I had to like check myself, man. I'm like, you know what, man, this is probably the end of my career, but let's make this go out with a bang. So I sat down with the curator. I was like, look, I know we got to paint tanks and use like, they had like a room, the 8th Infantry, where like all tanks. So we had like you ever see the carpet thing that draws the lines?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
We had to make tracks like it was like the beaches of Normandy and all that.
Oh, shit.
It was all stupid. But we went from civilian to Class Bs with ribbons.
Whoa.
We had to know all the history of Fort Lewis. Because I was Audie Murphy, Audie Murphy did a lot of stuff at Fort Lewis. And we got an Audie Murphy exhibit there. And then I sat down with my field artillery advisor, my field artillery raider.
Yeah, raider.
Colonel. He was a colonel. And I asked him, I'm like, sir, you think the museum is going to hinder my career? He goes, sometimes we need to take a break. He goes, I'm not going to say it's going to hinder your career or not. He goes, but look at me. I'm a colonel and I'm in this admin position. I'm your raider. Like, I don't even know who you are. You know, I was basically going to tell you, go write your own NCOER. And I'm like, that's the way it usually is, you know?
Yeah.
On evaluation report. So he's like, 90% chance you probably won't make sergeant first class. Okay. That's, you know, I went back to the museum for a while, and one of my friends called me and he said, Steve, you made the list, man. And I was I made the list. He goes, you're like number 53 in the whole Army, man, in field artillery. Like, you made the sergeant first class. How the hell did you make a list? And then I found out, like, the evaluation report, it was not for the record. It was for the record, but they didn't know how to write it. Like, I signed it. They only put like a couple blurbs on it, and I got like 2-3 blocks, man. And it didn't even make it to my official record. And like nobody in the unit made the list. Nobody in the unit that I was outed from made the sergeant first class. I'm the only person.
Damn.
On the whole installation.
Damn.
First did like a promotional ceremony of the museum.
Yeah.
People from the unit wanted to come. I was like, man, hell with y'all, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I thought that they were going to send me to mental health or something, man. Because I snatched up a platoon sergeant. I was a gunnery sergeant. He kept calling me the MF. The Mexican dude was calling me the Moofling, and I
Yeah.
didn't was calling me that in front of the soldiers. So I took things in my own hands.
Mm.
But never got an
Well,
Article 15. I got a summarized Article 15 for that. And then the sergeant major didn't even want to talk to me. They threw me out of the unit, man, and made me a tour guide. But you know what's nice about being a tour guide? I learned so much about military history, all the ribbons, all the unit patches, what they all meant. And we never had one complaint. We had veterans from World War II, Korean War, Vietnam. Everybody came because when you're driving down the highway going to Seattle or whatever, they all come from Canada or whatever,
yeah.
from that part up from Seattle, and they come through and go into like Mount Rainier. All those veterans stop at the museum, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And some of
You
them were
know,
like, you were a tour guide.
I gotta say something about, in case we got some civilian listeners. So when he's talking about evals, so early in your career, and I'm gonna speak for the Marine Corps, but I'm assuming the Army works kind of the same way. Early in your career, about what I'd say, what promotion, what 1 through E3, it's pretty much just time and service. You'll get it eventually. Then once you hit, I think E3, then your PFT score, your shooting score, and then there's other things that all add into that. But as you get older in the Marine Corps, your evals start counting more and more and more. So when you sit down with your unit leadership, they are going to write an eval. And like he's talking about, if you get a shitty eval at a higher rank, it can be a career ender. For sure. Or you're just going to retire at the rank you're at. You're not going to get any higher. Evals are serious business. So that's pretty cool that it didn't count against you. It didn't really count for you, it sounds like, but it didn't count against you.
Back and looked at it's called my EPERMs,
Yeah.
Listed Records Management. It's not in there.
It's not in there.
Nope. Not in
Wow.
there at all. There's nothing. There's not a thing, dude. Like,
Wow.
and all my friends were telling me, man, if you get a 2 block or a 3 block, that's the end of your career. Man, when I was a sergeant, I used to get 2 blocks all the time, man. I hated people telling me what to do, man, because like, see, in the Marine Corps, I don't think do you go to boards to get promoted?
So up until the rank of E5, it's based off cutting score, which is made up of all your evals and your PFT and stuff like that. And then after that, there is a promotion board that sits down and they select you. And here's the thing about the Marine Corps that I love. On the folder file, you have to have a picture in dress uniform. And according to somebody I know who used to work on the boards, he said we would literally lay them all out on the table and we look, and if anybody looked like a bag of ass in uniform, we take the file and throw it in the floor. He said, and that was our very first cut right there. Is
Wow.
you look like a bag of ass, you ain't getting it.
Well, I know that the Army did away for a while. They did away with the Department of the DA photo.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
DA photo, I always look. I just said dick tall, man. I was like in shape.
Yeah.
But you know what? I swear, man, it was a good old boy system for a while, man.
Yeah.
Because I got buddies, man, who sat on the boards and told me, Steve, man, you ain't making it, bro.
Damn.
And you got that 3. You got that 3 in your shit, man, from Sergeant Major. Because like when I went my 5th tour, where I didn't have a weapon, I had a career killer.
Yeah.
He's like, all the people I went with. So I went with a 5-man team called a Combat Arms Assessment Team.
Well, hang on. We get it. Is this after you leave the museum?
No. After I left the museum, I went to Riley.
You went back to Riley. When did you end up going on that 5th tour?
When I called DA and said I can't do this no more, they sent me to New Cumberland, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I became a field artillery advisor.
Okay.
Like we would evaluate National Guard units.
Right.
But that didn't last long because I didn't know I had a TS either. So they put me in like S2 now. So like when they did the operation orders, I helped evaluate the operation order and stuff. And then I also had a job of getting everybody TSs.
Oh, okay. What year was that?
My colonel wanted everybody. What year?
On that, that 5th deployment.
2004 to 2008.
Okay. So what year do you go on that 5th tour? Is that 5th tour? How many tours do you do at this unit in Pennsylvania? Just one?
Well, I didn't know that our unit mission was going to change. So in 2004, as soon
Yeah.
as I got there, our mission changed. We were sent to Fort Dix.
Hmm.
Like, we were all geographical bachelors. Even the guys that were married, we were living in a hotel, and we were told that we were going to take downrange and set it up as a mock city like Iraq and Afghanistan, and build combat lanes where they drive through them and evaluate them for combat operations. So
Oh, okay.
we had to prove to the Department of the Army that they could fund this. So we went out on the weekends and stuff prior to all this and built these mock cities. We had contractors come in and built these ghetto mock cities, man. Like, we would use like baby powder for IEDs, spurt baby powder on people, and the soldiers would bitch and complain that their uniform got ruined from baby powder. I'm like, you're lucky it's not a real IED, you know?
No shit.
So, but yeah, we were very hardcore, man. Like, we trained people in Afghanistan, right? But it weren't like combat units, man. We were
Right.
training like postal and admin units. Like, they turned into door kickers, man. And
Oh.
then, and then, after we briefed the Sergeant Major of the Army and the Chief of Staff, they voluntold me, Steve, you're not married. Guess where you're going? We need 5-man team to go to Iraq and evaluate the units. Evaluate the units in combat that we trained.
What?
Yeah. So we went. When we went to Kuwait, we were the laughing stock because, like, our MTEL, like you know what MTEL is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, our equipment.
Mhm.
That was a backpack, our looked like the soldier, walkie-talkies and sunglasses. No weapon. We didn't even have weapons in our unit, man. We didn't. So they were like, okay, you're going to link up with the 101st Airborne Commander, like the division commander. He's going to fly in his bird. You're going to fly in your bird. And then all of our crap went in another bird. And I remember the door gunner, or what is it, crew chief, telling us, during the map of the earth, if we crash or get shot down by rockets, basically you have to you learn close quarters combat. You're basically on your own, you know?
Yeah.
Like, okay, how the hell are we going to fire our way out of this, you know? And it was scary, man, because I had never been on a Black Hawk to fly the Earth, the map of the
Yeah.
Earth. And then we got up to 101st in, was it Fallujah? Yeah. We bounced around to like Baghdad, Fallujah, and a bunch of other places, man. But I remember when we were in Fallujah, we landed 101st. And when we landed, we went in and they were like, oh, we just wanted to tell you that, like, a couple was like, everywhere you went, it was like barricades, concrete
Mhm.
walls and stuff. And they were like, yeah, they mortared us the other night, and we lost like a couple that were like engaged to be married. So, like, sorry about the cleanup. If you see like stuff all over the walls, and like they had the area like repainted, and you could see where it was like on the walls where they got
Damn.
apart. Yeah. So they're like, we're not playing cartoon games here, So, like, they were like, okay, we're gonna attach you guys to the Puerto Rican National Guard. Well, when the Puerto Rican National Guard was with us at Fort Dix, none of them spoke English. None of them. But that was good because we had Gomez with us, man. He spoke Spanish.
Oh, so you
Uh,
had one.
and our major, he spoke Spanish too. So we had a major, a captain, and 3 sergeant first classes. And we went in there, man, to their briefing tent. And I did not realize at the time that the unit, like, you know how EOD wear the bomb suits?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the gunners were now wearing these bomb suits
Oh shit.
with the big ass shields and all that. So we went into the briefing room, and there was a dude sitting there with a neck brace on, man. It was like he was on display, bro. And I walked in, man, and I was like, you have to be shitting me. We're following this unit that don't speak no English? So
Dude.
we go in, we sit down, and there's a helmet with a round stuck in the shield. The shield had to be like this thick, man.
Wow.
There was a round stuck in it. And they were telling us, like, okay, now we're going to tell you what you're doing. You're going to collect classified data and write a handbook for deploying units that don't get to go through the lanes. And we were like, what? So they're like, we're gonna escort you out on convoys. Sometimes the units we fell on, they gave us gun trucks,
Yeah.
but Hampshire wasn't sitting on the right side of the truck commander. Because I was there because I was the VIP doing notes and all that, you know.
Yeah.
So we did like IEDs, the different types of IEDs, distances, the gunner, and like to aiming points and stuff, and then going under underpasses and where they put
Yeah.
IEDs and the way they blow out, and then we even took like all their equipment and laid it out because like they were finding out that units that were getting attacked, like they would do like investigations and like they would come back and be like the soldier that got unalived or KIA, that family wasn't getting the money because that was an improperly put together crew service weapon.
Whoa.
Yeah, man. So if it didn't have the T&E mechanism and they were John Wayne in it, and, you know, because like we told them, open up your Connex. Man, there
Yeah.
was so much shit in the Connexes, dude. And we laid it all out and like took a picture and gave it to the illustrators at Fort Leavenworth. So yeah, this book is called Security Force Handbook, Center of Army Lessons Learned, 0622. I'll send it to you, man. I'll email it to you.
So I mean, first off, let me start with the most obvious thing that I know everyone listening is going, this been the country. I have seen motherfucking civilians carrying a 9mm in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Civilians. So it's like that you are property of the US government, you're combat trained, you know, you've been to even if you could say I was artillery, you've still done all this. Why the hell did you not have at least a sidearm?
But we were like the guinea. We were part of the product, man. Like that unit was the VIP escort, and we were the VIP.
Yeah, but still,
Yeah,
sti
man.
still, damn. So, I mean, that had to have been wild to be being escorted around. I mean, yeah, because you said you went up to Fallujah with the 101st. I mean, that's a hot spot. You see this. So, what were
We
they
went
trying
to
to?
Taji. We went to Taji. We went to Baghdad. We
Yeah,
even had our own stomping ground when I was in OIF 1. You know, we were back at Four Heads. We could see the communication tower. We were still bombed out. You know,
damn.
but
So was the goal here to make a lessons learned document,
so
kinda?
we learned that things were changing every day.
Right? Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
we had to do three things. Soldiers learn by flow charts. Like
Mm-hmm.
you get the flow chart and you follow it and try to memorize it, and then verbiage.
Right.
So we had to take all this stuff, and it was funny because like when we left theater and went back to Kuwait, we started gathering all of our equipment, like gathering all of our. We had like I think our major only had a laptop. None of us had. We had a sat phone that we could call back, and I believe when I called my wife at the time, she was my wife now. Um, I could tell her like codes, different codes, because before I left, I'm like, I'm gonna go to blue. I'm gonna be at red. I can't tell you on the sat phone where I'm at, you know.
Right.
But she would know. Like I gave her and trained her on a map and all that. But dude, man, when we left Kuwait and went back to the hotel in Kansas near Fort Leavenworth, this was all classified. All this was classified. Like everything we brought back from theater, like no one was supposed to know. They wouldn't give us a day room. They wouldn't give us a conference room. And we sat right out in the lobby in the hotel and drew this shit on the chalkboard while people were walking by. And then we took all this classified information to Fort Leavenworth and they declassified it on the spot. They
Damn.
made the whole manual. They are like, how many units are going to have, most of them they're going to have, they're going to have like, um,
Cybernet access.
no, you have
Oh.
secret, then you have like eligible for secret,
You're right. Okay. Yeah.
you know, confidential.
Yeah.
Know this
Confidential.
because I was a security specialist for 16 years. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was wild. It was wild, man. Because like then they told us, yeah, you guys are going to get credit for being contributing authors to like this handbook. And then we found out it dropped in '06, and our commander told us that it was the most requested publication out of the call
Wow.
in the entire Army. And then when I worked for the civilian government, I didn't know that book went to the Navy.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, man. I was in the hallway, walking down the hallway, and this guy, this '06 Navy commander, walked up to me and go, "Are you the same Stevens that's in the security force handbook the Army did for the call?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why? Were you in the Army or something prior to being in the Navy?" He goes, "No, your book saved my unit's life." So
Wow.
he like brought it in and I signed it, man. Like I couldn't believe it. It was like the only book I ever signed, but he's like, thought that I would ever meet the guys that were, and I'm like, contributing author. What the hell is that? They're like, yeah, you guys got credit for being contributing authors. And I never, and this is way before like I dropped my first book in 2018, way before all that, man. But yeah, it's been a nut roll, man. And then I came back and they were like, well, Sergeant Major said you're not going to make Master Sergeant. And I was like, I looked at my wife. She was a psych nurse. I said, I think I'm going to Walter Reed. I think I'm going to
Yeah.
myself to mental health. And
Ah,
not even 2 hours later, man, I had attachment orders and I had a date to go down there. And I went down there and I was signed my rank and everything away, man. I was like a guinea pig, bro. I was in the
s-
Wounded Warrior Transition Unit.
so you went down there voluntarily.
Yeah.
So what was the breaking point on that last deployment where you're like, you know what? I need to get this under control.
3 block on my NCOER.
Mm,
You have a 1, 2, and a 3, which are success. 1 is great, 2 is and 3 is your career's over. 4 or 5, you're done. But that my senior raider, my colonel gave me a 1. My sergeant major gave me a 2 because he didn't like me. Because in my book, I called him a piece of shit.
mm.
Yeah, I called him a piece of shit. I called him a career. So,
It-
and he told me to my face, as long as I'm in the military, you will not make Master Sergeant. So I went back
wow.
because like, dude, I was gun ho hardcore. Just got the PT patch at like 43 years old, man. I just got my first PT patch at 43 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, man. And
Not to mention, I mean, it sounds like the last tour, this whole package you put together. First of all, I just want to say thank you because the lessons learned in early Iraq and Afghanistan saved many, many, many units' lives.
oh yeah, man.
And so any contribution to that, whether big or small, it means a lot. And then second off, like you guys did the mission, everyone liked the information, so it's like, what was the disconnect? I mean, and look, I get it. There was a master sergeant at the end of my career that I absolutely hated his fucking guts, and I hated that guy. And he was a douchebag to me in front of his kid, which, by the way, makes him a total douche. But anyway, like so I get it. There's just bad leaders, man. But I
Let's
mean,
just say this. And all my friends travel. You know when I say traveling?
mhm.
What traveling is? Not
Yeah,
traveling from state to state. I don't want to say the word because I don't want to get the
yeah.
boys coming after me, but Sergeant Major was a traveler. The 2 other Sergeant First Classes were travelers. The captain and the major were travelers. Everybody got promoted except for me.
Mm,
Everybody got promoted except for me, man.
damn.
Yeah. Everybody got promoted except for me. But you know what? Walter Reed saved my life, man.
Yeah, tell me about that. So you go down there. I mean, at this point in your career, how many years in are you?
19.
19. Okay. And in 19 years, all the shit you've seen evaporated corpses in Desert Storm, all the way up to now, 19 years, all the shit you've seen in Iraq. Had you ever talked to anybody about any of that?
No.
Yeah. So yeah.
No. 'Cause there was times I write in my book I was punching walls and my hands were bloody.
Hmm.
I would clean myself up and look like I'm perfect. But dude, I had a culture shock when I got to Walter Reed, man, because like they were coming off the battlefield left and right.
Yeah. Oh
No
yeah.
arms, no legs. I'll tell you one story that will stay with me for my entire life. So everybody ate at the lodge or the dining, like it was the guest house,
Hmm.
and everybody was in uniform. Like during the duty day, I wore a uniform because going to the psych unit was considered training.
Mm.
It was training, not therapy. And I remember I was sitting in the dining facility and a dude, I guarantee he's out there today, man, somewhere. He walked up, sat down at the table. He looked completely normal, man. And he looked me dead in the eye, dude, and he had an all black eye. I had never seen anyone with a face,
Oh shit.
and it had a gold skull in it. He reached across the table and he shook my hand and he goes, I know, all wounds are not visible.
Damn.
Thank you for your service, Sergeant First Class. He goes, I hope you get the help you get. He goes, because this place is a fucking joke.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, great. Shit, I got a whole fucking 364 days left, you know? But
Yeah.
wow, man, because like everybody was in civilian clothes except for my group. But we weren't allowed to wear rank. We were only allowed to wear U.S. Army, man, like no names. When we went to training or to the counseling or the therapy, we only knew everybody by no rank. No one knew who anybody was.
Right.
But I was just Bill, you know, or Sergeant Bill, everybody, you know. But it was wild, man. There were 12 of us in the group. And that's when they started medicating us up. And like, they weren't even real doctors, you know, like the doctors that go in for their like, what are they called? Like assistant doctors, like when they're doing their residency.
Clinicals, yeah, residency, yeah.
Yeah, they got nothing against Indian people or anything like that, man. But no one spoke like real English, dude. Like
Damn.
sitting in the therapy room, man, for hours just to see the doc. And man, they were so picky. Like you could only like one every day. Like they were real conservative on cups. You would get your little cup and put your name Bill on it, and that's the cup you used all day, man. Like your drinking cup, man,
Yeah.
it's crazy, dude. Like, but I saw like when we would walk through the what's it called, the psych unit,
Yeah.
you could see the actual people that were inpatients. They'd be out like in the glass smoking with the white jackets on and shit, and they would look at us like, "What the hell wrong with them people?" And I remember when we would go to the workout, people would look at us like, you don't belong here, you know, like as long as if you ain't got an arm or a leg or something, or you're burned up or something, then you belong here. But like people started realizing that, you know, the invisible wounds, man, like
Yeah.
we were the wounded warriors, man. Like, um, I know that there was a few groups prior to me, but I learned a lot in my groups, man. Like I talked about, I don't know, some days we're waiting to do duck, duck, goose, man. It was so bad, dude. It's charades. They gave us like Better Homes and Garden magazines. Like we didn't have no cool magazines, but then I talked about because I had to change it in my book, man, because I was like, they gave us scissors. So I was like,
Yeah.
they keep sharp scissors. So I put in the book, I went back and redid the manuscript and said, like the little kid scissors from kindergarten,
Yeah.
little dull ones.
That you
You can
can't cut yourself with.
yeah, man. There'd be a day where like I'm having a bad day and I would go in and cut a bunch of shit out and they were like, okay, Stevens or Bill, stand up and tell the group how your day was. And you would hold up this thing with like these stupid fucking words on it. I'm sorry, words, you know, these
Yeah.
words. And then one thing I learned, they had a whiteboard and there were two markers because when I spoke at an author event, I opened the speech with this right here. Imagine every day coming in and telling your story, and you had a black marker and a red marker to tell your story. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Red was pain and blood, and black was no pain, but to tell the story.
Right.
Some of these infantry guys drew nothing but red. And
Wow.
the way they drew it, like schizophrenic way, really weird. But eventually, as we transitioned, red went to black. And we did like light therapy. Like if you could see where I'm like if I didn't have the wall, I have red light therapy in my room right now.
Yeah.
I wear the red lens glasses sometimes because they help you sleep better at night when during the day you wear red lenses and stuff. And I learned that like it was like they put us like in like a closet and there were red lights and white lights on a chicken cage. And you had like, you know, when you did an ear test,
Mm-hmm.
have your buzzards. It was like a reactionary thing to see how fast you react to light, red light or white light response time.
Right.
Some lights would flicker real quick and you have to hit the button real quick and they would evaluate your response. And they would do that like every month that we were there. But it was always, man, it was always weird, man. It was always, we were always doing something different, man. But what was wild about the whole thing, um, each person came out at a different time. Like I came out in the middle, but I think because I was so combat in focused.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that PTSD was sexual trauma.
Yeah.
And I'll disclose this because in my book, I talk about the broken mirror. We had a Marine Corps female staff sergeant, probably the hottest female staff sergeant I ever saw in my life. She had ribbons, and I said she had ribbons. I had to change the wording in my book because I said on her rack. I had to say ribbon rack. But
Yeah.
I remember me and some of the infantry guys would look at her and me later would be like, they're not combat ribbons. What the hell are those? And that she never spoke. She just wore her dress uniform with the skirt and her heels and all that. And then like the last 2 months we were there, she was the only one left, bro. Everybody had already came out with their stories. And she came out one day. She didn't participate in anything, man. She was there for like some kind of protective custody because she was about to take her unit down. And when I tell you this, you're going to be blown away. She was one of the most respected female Marine Corps recruiters. She was abducted by her first sergeant commander in her office, and her husband was in the next room when it happened. And he didn't even know. And she told us the story and broke down. And I sat there and I said to myself, I looked at a couple of people and I'm like, damn, I thought PTSD was a combat thing.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that it was sexual or DV or,
Yeah.
I realized, like, I never thought I would be an advocate, but I thought to myself, I'm like, dude, there's been some horror stories, but to even know that this happened to this staff sergeant who was up for gunning.
Yeah.
And her husband was in the next room and didn't even know about it.
Dude.
Yeah. And she said that she was there because they wanted to like take her out, remove her. And she was there for protective custody. Like one thing you do in the books, no names, no organizations, and no locations.
Yeah.
Because the first and second book are approved by the Pentagon.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
So when did you, so when you're at Walter Reed, are you away from the family the whole time?
I only got to go home and see my daughter born on June 14th, 2007.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So,
because
I mean,
the reason why I went there is they explained to us soldiers bring the battlefield home.
mm-hmm.
And because I didn't have a weapon, I actually treated my wife at the time like a soldier or like the enemy.
Yeah.
So her and I sat down and said, look, maybe you need to go get some help, because like and then I also found out while I was at Walter Reed that the unit, some of the guys got orders for Afghanistan. So I was like, okay, maybe if I would have went to Afghanistan, I would have came back in a coffin or a box.
Right.
Or a bag. So thank God I got it out of that. So, but yeah. Yeah. But the battle started when I got home, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what, like, here's the thing is like, I've said this 1,000 times on the podcast and I'll say it again. It's like, you don't realize how bad things are till you get away from the whole military organization. And then you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, man.
Dude. So when did you start writing? So you wrote, I know that your first book was poems that you had written and you had written a lot of those.
Man.
What's that?
I've been writing on scripted pieces of paper since I was 19, like on guard duty, bad days, hating people, relationships, poems called Caught on a Web, death and dying stuff. Like you were saying that I could read a piece or something.
Yeah. Read one. I'd like to hear one.
This is so I got that thing. You can't really see it, but
yeah, I can see it.
The mirror.
The mirror. Yep.
So there's like a shitload of poems in here. So I'll read a real quick one. One of my favorite ones. It's about the devil. Playing cards with the devil. So let me find it here.
Yeah, man. I wish I was a creative writer. I really do.
But this was all like pieces of paper until like my father died. And then I made a manuscript. So the very first poem I ever wrote was this one right here called Bullet to the Brain. Hopefully I can, like, hold on a second. You're standing in a room with a candle burning low. In one hand, you're holding a revolver, and one bullet in the chamber. You're playing the game. One shot, one kill. In the other hand, you're holding a rose. The petals are falling one by one. She loves me not. This is the love game. So what is the choice? The bullet in the brain or the woman who drove you insane?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really good, man. Like you really, I mean, I'm assuming that some of those words come from personal experience.
Yeah, relationships and stuff. I'm trying to find the one
Yeah.
with the devil, man. Like I got some called like you know how like people say you're a puppet? I'll read this one instead of the devil. So remember Pinocchio?
Yep.
Okay, this is called a puppet on a string. Here you sit in a workshop, waiting to be carved by a woodsman. All you are is a block of wood with a hollow heart. Everything is moving around you. Oh, how good it would feel to adventure out and about the workshop, as you ask yourself. Time passes and you soon start to take form as a boy. Now you have arms and legs, and you are no longer cold at night because you even have clothes now. Now you're starting to take form and you feel better about yourself. The night comes and you start to hear strange and new sounds that you've never heard before. Trying to move out of this corner, you glance up to see nothing but strings dangling from above through all parts of your wooden body to nowhere. Only the puppet master controls your each and every move that you make. Someone is controlling you. People don't think about this, but they are just like puppets on a string. Someone is always controlling your each and every move that they make, giving you instructions or giving or demanding you with orders. Maybe it's a military command, an order we must follow. In the end, you're in control of yourself. You make your own decisions and you're liable for your own actions.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Trying to find the devil one, man. But
So this is your first book, The Mirror.
yeah, this was the start of it all, man. Like when my dad died, I didn't even think I was going to be an author, but went into work. I printed out the manuscript and I sat down in their empty apartment because my mom had already died in 2014. My dad passed away in 2000. What's it called? In 2017, and I laid the manuscript out on the floor, and I didn't even have a title for it. I think I was going to call it cover to cover because I was a dumbass. I was a nerd in school. Like I didn't know how to read very well. Everything in the army was all open book, so
Yeah.
I didn't read one book. But yeah, man. And then the newspaper came and did an article on my dad because he was a two-time Korean War veteran, Pork Chop Hill.
Yeah.
And took a bunch of pictures of me, man. And then it was a picture. This book used to be gold.
Mm.
Until haters came after me, so I changed it to black and white. I brought the demons back. But yeah, this is like a gold, like the hallway where my dad died, the building where he died. You could see the light around it.
Oh shit. Okay,
Walking through
yeah.
the light. So in this book, I gave props to the newspaper uh, because they weren't going to give me the picture. They're not
Right.
that. They're not allowed to give pictures out that they don't put in the newspaper. You know
Oh,
how
that
public affairs are.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, so I put their name in my book and I called out the reporter and all that who did the story, and they agreed with me because I was writing this book for veterans
Right.
and he vamped it for everyone. Everybody, I didn't think that people on the outside had trauma.
Yeah.
When I got home, then I realized that I was putting my wife through hell and my daughter through hell. So I knew that even the childhood trauma, like we didn't get there, but I knew when people have childhood trauma, but I didn't think it was the same type of trauma that I went through.
Right.
Now, when I talk my message, everybody, past, present, future, has some type of trauma.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't have a person that says they never had trauma because you know what? The next day, they may witness someone getting ejected out of a car window or a family member die. If you've had a family member die, you have trauma.
Right. At least
So,
some amount. Maybe that's the thing is people think it's all or nothing, and it's like, look, you don't have to have seen somebody die in front of you, or some kid get shot. It can be other things, and the other thing that I've learned over the years is not everyone has the what's it called? Like the ability to handle, you know what I'm saying? Some people aren't resilient as others, you know? And so like trauma can affect one person in a way and the other person can be standing there and be fine,
Dude,
you
we
know?
have political trauma now.
Yeah.
People have meltdowns because of certain parties get elected and bills get passed.
Oh yeah.
So I have to read this. I have to read this. I found it.
Go
So
ahead.
here's Home Sweet Home in Iraq at Four Heads.
Oh,
There's Four Heads Palace. It got bombed out by the Air Force. So
yeah.
it wasn't really a palace that we lived in. This is called a full deck.
Okay.
You know, play cards.
Yeah.
I never played cards in my life. So I'm sitting at the table. I'm sitting at the table with the devil, Satan himself. You look at him and he looks at you. He looks right in your eyes and tells you to draw. One by one, we all pick up our cards, which start out as a full deck, not knowing which one we will get the last card. Each card we receive is laid face down, which represent relationships. Playing because we must. This is all about life itself. Never knowing which card will be picked up next. My deck is empty because of the pain that is inside, the pain that will never end. I am always picking up the wrong card from the deck, causing the pain inside. Only the devil himself can take this pain away from me. The game must go on. How many cards are left in your deck? It's basically suicide from a relationship.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Right.
but yeah, this is
Man.
the banger book right here. This is the book that got me started.
Okay. So you what year do you write? You wrote that one, would you say in 2017?
Yeah, it came, I did it in 2017, and then it was released. I wanted it to release on Christmas for veterans who were struggling
Yeah.
at the time for suicide, like over the holidays. But I was with Book Venture, who screwed me over. I'm definitely going to call them out because they're not even around no more. Took me for the dollars. Never got a cent out of the book at all. But it came out like February 2018, and then I
Okay.
24 to what it is now. And then I just changed the cover and it has cryptic words of like trauma, suicide. It's like real cryptic. You can see the cryptic words in there to make it
Yeah.
better, catchy when you read it.
Yeah, the cover looks great, man.
Yeah,
Like
this
really
is
does.
this is the broken mirror right here. So
Okay, so that's the one I want to get into right now. So you wrote that book and you in this book you say that and this is the core of the book. It says the voice of the voiceless. What happened when the mirror and the man shatters? Removes the mask of strength to reveal raw truth about trauma, PTSD, loss and the path to redemption. It focuses on coping mechanisms, military transition struggles, fatherhood and rebuilding after identity death. Um so I mean, this is the book where you kind of put the whole package of everything besides your dad, and we're gonna get to that in the third
this is
book.
the advocate. This is the advocate book right here.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So how did I kind of want to touch on we have a lot of listeners and a lot of guys who've been to war and they now have kids. They're like me, 35, 30, and they have kids. And so what are some lessons that you learned with your daughter that you think would be good for us to know? Like how did you rebuild that relationship and what really happened to it?
So I'm going to be honest and truth, man. My wife and my daughter were known as bitches and whores. And I truly believe that my daughter being 19 soon still has this agenda against me, like a vendetta that she'll never forget that. Cause like as a child, I was physically and mentally abused, but I was a manipulator and a mental abuser. When you mentally abuse someone, they'll never forget that.
Hmm.
So the lessons in here, like I talk about, don't bring the battlefield home. When you get out of the military, you got no rank. Your family are not soldiers.
Right.
Okay. You do not treat your child like a soldier. You don't make them do push ups. You don't make them do burpees and flutter kick. Now, I never made my kid do that, but there are people that do that, man.
Oh yeah.
They even make their boys get their heads shaved certain ways and stuff. Like, I never did that. I was more mentally like, you're a piece of shit. I'm the bread maker. You know, even though my ex-wife had a degree in psychology and nursing, and now a master's in education, I was the bread waker. Like, I was always told that I was a failure because, like, eventually the medicine started making me bigger.
Mm,
Like, I started to get out of shape, you know? And I worked at a cola place, then I worked at a prison, and then while I was at the prison, I got called to work for the government. And then I started noticing when I started working for the government that I couldn't call my kid and treat my family like shit no more because like it comes back on you. And also,
mm.
a lot of people aren't going to say this, but I've been with the same psychiatrist since 2008.
Wow.
Yeah, and we've had the discussion where veterans are tossed in the system.
Mm-hmm.
And because of my psychiatrist, it's probably because I have these books. Because his mom, who's like 90, has read every book that I have.
Wow.
And she has seen the growth. And when your psychiatrist can tell you and do a review, he did a review on Amazon, but under a different name. No,
Right.
psychiatrist did a review for you, you know, we're friends. No, he said that his mom has seen the growth from the way I treated my family to the advocate to who I am today with this book, with all three books combined into one. So I I had to show my daughter because I didn't believe in her, man. Because like she was a soccer girl, got blasted in the face, quit that, was a pageant girl, won, quit that, became a cheerleader. I hated paying that money. Believed in her. And you know what? She did like I did, man. She escaped home at 13.
Oh,
She went to a cheer competition and locked up with a coach, and they got her down, and she did like a tryout at the summit in Orlando. And the next thing you know, my daughter's telling my ex-wife she's got a host family in Miami
damn.
and going to live with them, and we're going to pay the host family monthly. And the first year my daughter was a cheerleader, she became a world champion at 14 years old.
Whoa.
Yeah, man. And then
So,
she was a lady jag. She was a lady jag. And then she got recruited by Revelations in Orlando. And when she turned 16, bro, she became another world champion
dang.
on a level 6 cheer team. The highest is college is 7. And my daughter
Right.
can already do 7. But now, because she's got my drive and determination and her mom's looks, and I always say the crawl, walk, run, coach, teach, mentor. My daughter's 18 years old and she's a competitive coach for Top
Wow.
Gun. No college, just the world champions, all these championships. All her friends are in college and her friends are going to college to do what she's doing right now.
Damn.
Yeah, man. And
Well,
this
I mean, but
19, she'll be 19 on the 14th of June. And this year she's coaching 5 teams at
man,
19. Yeah, man.
she's doing great.
Teams and the backup coach for 3 teams. And she wasn't going to coach this one team this year. So, like, out of 18 teams, her team took eighth. And that's good for a first time coach
Yeah.
at the mini summit. The parents said, if that kid is not the head coach, we're pulling our kids from the team.
Dang.
That is an impression.
That's a hell of an impression.
Yeah. So, and
Wow.
then she's also in cosmetology school for Paul Mitchell's. I sold my RB and didn't get nothing for it. And I gave the money, like I didn't get nothing. I gave all the money to the school for tuition. So I want my daughter to be successful because my mom's gone, my dad's gone, my sister's gone. I don't have any other relatives left. I carry the Stevens name and she's the torchbearer, man.
Yeah.
So I can get my daughter started out because like Top Gun now got her a salon job. She graduates on 10 July and she'll have a salon job and she goes to get her USA certification as a world coach in June sometime.
Man.
Yeah, she's killing it, man. And you know what's really cool about this whole story? I think I told you. Um, my kid endorsed No Filter.
Oh, she did.
So
That's right.
instead of like a preface or a forward, I call it Izzy's diary.
Yeah.
I tell her, I just said, would you write something for my new book, No Filter? And this is No Filter. Look at it's got the parent advisory logo because it's where
Yeah.
I said, I want people to know what you thought of how I treated you when you were a child.
Yeah.
And then also, she wrote this. It made me cry when I read it. But I'm going to have my daughter on my podcast
Heck yeah.
because there's a lot of people think I'm doing this for clout.
Yeah.
A lot of people think I'm doing this to make myself look good. Well, I'm going to have the podcast called The Broken Mirror. And my kid already said it's only going to be 20 minutes. She ain't going to be on, mother, like we're on. Just going to say, I'm not going to ask the questions I do. She's just going to say, this is the way my dad treated me. This is what we did. And we're still a little rocky, but he's the greatest dad because, like, I read this on a podcast and those dudes were stunned. Was it Hero Nation, Hero Stock?
Yeah.
I read this and they were stunned.
Man.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So this is called Izzy's Diary. That's my little girl right there. She's 18. Growing up, a lot of things felt like a blur. I don't remember every detail. I was just always with my mom and my grandparents. I remember Christmas and birthdays, little flashes of happiness, but the rest fades into the background. As I got older, I started noticing tension between my parents. I remember the fights, though I never really understood them. It was confusing and sometimes hard, but through it all, one thing never changed. I will always love my dad. Before I moved away, my dad and I started to grow closer. He taught me how to drive, and the moments meant more to me than he would even realize. Over the past year, because she wrote this in 2025 when I was out in my RV, over the past year, our bond has only gotten stronger. He moved his whole life to Florida and just to be near me, and that says everything. Having a dad like mine is something special. No matter how complicated things were growing up, he's always loved me, and I've always loved him too. Izzy Stevens.
Man.
So she doesn't say that I treated her like shit, just says it was a complicated life. But I told her, I said, I paid your tuition. I want you to come on my podcast and I want you to clear the air because I'm
Yeah.
getting people telling people that I'm using my daughter to escape. And you know what? When your own kid can endorse you on a book, that means the world, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, anybody who's saying stuff, you know how the internet is, such a piece of shit sometimes.
It
But
is,
I
man.
mean that's beautiful, man. I mean, cuz the thing is that was what I was scared of. That was one of the reasons that I got out was because I told my wife, I said I don't want to raise my kids in this lifestyle. Because you're never home. It's always mom, and then you're there and you're not there and you're there and you're not there, and dude, I look at my daughters now and I look at the age they are and I'm like, I cannot imagine being under rotation right now. You
No,
know, it's a rough
some
life.
people weren't. Some people were not able to come back to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you got families growing up out there that don't even know who their dads are, who their dads were. You
Yeah.
know, the mom was pregnant while the mom was KIA in combat.
Yeah. Exactly.
But
Exactly.
I will say one thing that I didn't disclose. I worked at a prison.
Mm-hmm.
I was a correctional officer, trainee, and you can't talk to the other correctional officers. You don't have time. And if you didn't fit in the group, you didn't go out and drink with them either.
Mm.
And you sure couldn't talk to the inmates because they collect data on you and
Oh
they
yeah.
listen to all your conversations. So guess where all the pain went?
Right inside.
Home.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna ask you about that. I was gonna ask because that's a rough job, dude. You have to have a lot of aggression to be. A lot of people, you don't really think about it, but if you think about our prison system, dude, those guards they have to put on a persona. You can't walk in there and be, just regular old Joe Schmo.
Oh, they don't care if you're a veteran or not. Like they know they have seasoned veterans that have done corrupt stuff.
Yeah.
You come out of I came out of the academy as a student first sergeant.
Yeah.
When I went there, I was like, yo, I'm running things.
Yeah.
You know what? When I sat down at the table and they were like, yo, get your ass up. You don't belong on that table. You go sit your ass in the corner and don't talk to nobody. And if you talk to somebody, you're going to go do some bad shit. Like, I'm like, what? I tell you one story real quick. So I had to do this training. We had a brand new, like they now went to like electronic doors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But when I went through training in the prison, you went manually and shut all the doors.
Oh, okay.
So I had a Marine Corps retired, I believe he was a master guns, or he actually was a sergeant. They all call him sergeant major.
Okay.
And I had never been called a fuck stick in my life. All right. You know that? You know where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
So I'm a brand new trainee, and he's like been in the prison system 35 years now as a sergeant in the Marine Corps, and then 20 years already as a senior guard.
Whoa.
And I'm there to learn electronic operations in the H block. And he's like, okay, fuckstick, you go upstairs and I need you to start pulling doors. And he's watching everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I go, he unlocks all the doors. There's no prisoners in there at all. It's just training, right? So there's like 200 doors, man, maybe 3. I'm pulling them all, right? And as I pull them, he unlocks them. So I go down and I say, Sergeant Major, they're all done. He goes, fuck stick, go back and pull them all again. So I'm thinking to myself, what is the fuck stick? So I'm thinking about I'm pulling the doors, right? And I can hear him talking to me and like degrading me over the announcement. It's only him and I in this building.
Yeah.
So I came back to him and I said, all due respect, I appreciate the service. I said, I did 20 years. She goes, I don't give a fuck about your service. She goes, I don't trust you. I go, well, let me tell you something. I said, and he was recording everything I was saying. I said, if you call me a fuckstick again, I'm going to punch you in the heart. And I'm sure that you don't walk out this door. He said, do you know who you're talking to? He said, you have just destroyed your career in the prison system. I said, no, I have been through hell, and you're not going to call me a fuckstick because I'm not a Marine. I said, I successfully got out of the military. I probably have more combat experience than you do. I said, just trust me. I know you have a bad heart. I said, people talk. I said, if you call me a fuckstick again, I'm going to punch you in the chest. I'm going to punch you right in the heart because I learned combatives while I was in Korea. Not close quarters combat or combatives. I learned close quarters combat out of the manual. And I said, you know what that is because you get different colored belts. I said, I will hit you and I will unalive you. And he said, you've now graduated to what's it called? Crossing guard or cross guards or something.
Oh, okay. Like a road guard.
Basically, you have a shack and there are browns that are the actual people in the prison and the blues that are trainees, like the transfers.
Yeah.
And go to chow, like they go to dinner and you have to open the gates and you have to, every 5 inmates you have to inspect.
Oh, okay.
So he put me on cross guards for like 2 months, but I got a magical phone call for me to come work for the government, as a security specialist, because when I was at Walter Reed, I did an internship with Defense Security Services, with now Defense Counterintelligence Agency, because remember, I had that top secret when I was in my last unit.
Yeah.
And I was security, so they trained me to be a security specialist. And then I did 16 years with the civilian government, and then he fired me. And that's when I wrote The Broken Mirror, because I was suicidal in 2024.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
So when you got fired, I mean, like, would you just like, fuck, dude, like I can't get ahead, or I mean, were you just like,
I actually disobeyed an order because I had a project they would do on Monday. My director told me. Now, I had been there since 2009. Yeah, I've been there. I only lasted in prison for about a year. So 2009 to 2023. So from 2009 to 2015, I had one security director. She had 40 years in service in the government. From 2015 to 2023, I had 7 different directors.
Wow.
This one dude who didn't believe in me at all, he came from the Pentagon. So he was like a lieutenant commander. Now I gave it away. He wasn't working for the Navy. So, but I could talk about it now because like nobody cares. The books are out now. So, but yeah. So I had a disagreement with him. Okay, they're already using like stuff that I did in the past because like I looked at a lady wrong. I gave her the "I want to kill you" look. They took my security clearance away from me. I fought for that. I won. Then they had to give me back my security clearance again. And then
Oh.
like retaliation. So like my boss came in on was it on the weekend? Was it the weekend? No, it was Monday. We had a 4-day weekend. He came in, he's like, first thing that came out of his mouth, like, what are you F you doing here? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you do know it's only you and I here, right? And he goes, what do you mean by that? And I said, no good morning, no nothing. Like I could have had a bad, something with my ex-wife. I had stuff going on with my kid. Like you're just going to come in here and call me the F'er and all that. And I'm like, just remember the next time you say that, one of us are leaving this office and it's not going to be you. So he went in the back and he called the DOD police. Like, and I'm working on my project and these guys come in the door. There's like 4 of them, right? I remember the one police officer said, give us your CAT card and your laptop and come with us and turn around. I said, you're not handcuffing me. I said, you're not going to embarrass me like you did to the GS. I was a GS-11. I said, you embarrassed a GS-15 who was a military veteran with 30 years of service. I said, you ain't doing that shit to me. I said, plus you didn't even read your Miranda rights. So I ain't stupid. I used to work in the prison system.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, just come with us, Stevens. Okay. So I get up, I walk out. There are 5 more DOD policemen in the hallway.
Holy shit.
9 there for me. And I said, can we just go out the side door? Because I don't want you to embarrass me walking down because there's people working right now. So I go out. I don't have a CAC. I don't have a computer. I get in my car. Nothing. I say nothing. They escort me off the base and they tell me they come up to me and they say, you're banned from the military installation until you're called back to work. It's okay. So I go home and I sit for like 3 months.
Wow.
I call every week checking in that I'm alive. Do you need me to do anything? I can't really do anything. I don't have a laptop or anything, but like, I'm going to my appointments at the VA and blah, blah. One of my friends who works at the Pentagon reached out to me and said, actually my mentor from DSS reached out to me and said, if I were you, because there is no reasonable accommodation, you put in for it, they didn't grant it for you or anything. He said, no one's helping you from the unit. Put in your retirement paperwork, your disability retirement paperwork, and see if it flies. And then I found out that you had to put in regular retirement and disability retirement. And I learned a lot about how you stack papers and presentation and stuff for working for security because I was the go-to guy, I was the little mouse, I knew I was there longer than anybody. The people in the office there 2 years that were higher than me. So I worked with a girl after COVID. She was in Hawaii and she worked for like Navy HR. And she said, we'll work on your packet. We gotta make sure your daughter's benefits are all right and all that. So she looked at everything and she's like, it's ready to go to OPM. So I submitted to Department of the Navy. I aired it overnight. It went to Department of the Navy. I submitted it in February. I received an email from my job on I believe it was March 28th. They terminated me in 2023 over an email. Yep. Out like to my regular email, not to like my government, because I have government laptop.
Yeah.
It said, you're terminated and you'll be administratively debriefed. But I'm like, I have a TS SCI. I can't be administrative. I have to come in.
Yeah.
And they were like, you're a threat. You can't come in. So one, they did that wrong. and I called them out on that. Then I got the termination letter in the mail, and I submitted that along with the packet. And I got a letter from OPM saying that they needed my SSI, like my Social Security. Well, it was denied. I didn't want it. So I was like, oh, I got to have this, just denied. I don't care. I don't want it anyways, you know? So they
Right.
did it. And in August, I got an approval. So
Shit.
I'm getting my military retirement, which is tax free because I'm CRSC.
Right.
I'm 100%. And I didn't get 100% until 2022 because when I got out of Walter Reed, I was only 50%.
Yeah.
So I fought for it because of tremors. I talk about that in my book.
Yeah.
So I got 100% and I'm permanent and total. And I'm 56, so I'm grandfathered in. So I get my military retirement and my VA disability tax free. The only money that I account for is some of my book stuff and civilian disability. And I make more money in civilian disability retirement than a regular employee when they retire from the civilian government at 20 years.
Really?
Because I was an 11, I was a GS 11 step 13. Like I
Yeah.
was out. I couldn't get a 12. So what they did was they maxed me out to 20 years.
Mm.
Took 4 years from my military time and gave it to me. And OPM approved it. And life is good, man.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
So you write the third book. And the third book, I wanted to get to it because, and I said it earlier that we were going to circle back around to it. Yeah, that's it. No filter. So, okay. So when you joined the army at 19, you say that you were trying to escape something, and you said your dad was he a veteran?
Two-time Korean War veteran.
Yeah.
I never knew it until I sat down before he died in 2017 that he was at Pork Chop Hill twice.
Now, did you ever make a linkage? And I haven't read the book. I admit I've read.
Was a terrible. I didn't know my grandfather. He was a railroad engineer. And my dad kept his belt.
Yeah. So, but do you think that some of your dad's time in Korea maybe bled over to the fact that, you didn't really have a good childhood? You said he was is abusive and drunk. Do you think some of that may have been undiagnosed PTSD?
No, I didn't know at the time what PTSD was. I thought it was discipline.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So now that really didn't start happening until I was around like 8 or 9. Cause like we lived on Spring Road and my dad was just a drunk. Like he just didn't come home. Like both of my parents across the street was a factory where they worked. Like we lived in the factory houses, worked at Maslin's Carpet. Like my dad was like a lift truck operator. My mom packed skids. And that's hard on people, like that factory work.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
part of it was that. But like, I always noticed my dad taking it out on my mom. Like my sister, she was kind of like slow. Back then we called it the R word.
Yeah.
Now you can't say that. People get offended. But she was smart. She got out of the way, man. Like she was never around. But we got forced out of our house and moved to Northwest Street. And that's when it started, man. Like when my dad didn't work anymore,
Yeah.
like, he would just use the money and go to the bar and get drunk and come home and take it out on my mom and take it out on me. And like there were times where like where he would whoop my ass, he would miss. The belt buckle would hit me in the back of the legs. The buckle. My grandfather's railroad belt buckle.
Damn.
And I remember my dad beating my ass and telling me that your grandfather would be proud, being a railroad engineer and blah, blah, blah. So I was known as a creep, a bum, and a motherfucker. I put that in the book, man. Like I was always those 3 names. I wasn't Billy or son or whatever. But like I said, man, there were times I would just watch my dad like throw objects at my mom.
So what
He
was
was a spouse abuser, but he never physically like sexually abused me.
Yeah.
And I thought it was discipline, man. My mom whooped my ass. My mom whooped my ass a few times, and I couldn't even get up.
Man.
Hey, your parents can't do that to you, man. It's like child abuse.
Yeah.
Or come after the parents with the pew pew, man.
Well, I mean, also it like so for me, that's how I grew up. Like my dad was very hands-on, physical. Maybe not quite. My dad wasn't emotionally abusive by any means, but like, but he wasn't emotionally available like I am to my kids. And what I figured out real quick is every kid's different. And I'm gonna tell you right now, my two kids, that doesn't work. Any kind of physical intervention doesn't work. My kids care more about emotionally disappointing me than they do anything else. And I think that's effective, you know.
Yeah, that's the way my ex-wife was. She would take my daughter's phone or take privileges away from her. She was like, "You better not ever hit this kid, or I will call the therapist and have you put in jail." Because man, if you got PTSD and you hit your kids, bro,
Oh yeah.
you're done. You're
Done.
you are done.
Done. So you wrote this last book, and it's kind of like an overview of everything. What was the and I guess too, right before you go into that, did you and your dad ever talk about it? Like at the end of his life? You never.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Okay.
See, my mom died in 2014, and when your dad calls you on the phone when you're already having trouble with your wife and your daughter, and says, "I'm not going to live long. I would like you to come take care of me until my last days." So I packed everything up, my government laptop, my car, and me, no clothes, no nothing, and went and lived with my dad in his little tiny apartment where my mom lived and died. And um, I slept on a couch, like a crappy couch, but I went out and got a leather couch. Tell you what, people at my work knew that I wasn't sleeping right.
Yeah.
But I would sit day and night with my dad. We would talk about the past. He would make me breakfast in the morning and he would make me dinner at night. He was almost like my girlfriend almost, but not,
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
like my second, like somebody that took care of me.
Yeah.
And I was there to inspire my dad to live, and I helped clean, and we would watch like Jackie Chan and stupid game shows on TV. Like I never had time for myself. I didn't have no social life because I was always taking care of my dad. And one night, my ex-wife called while we were separated. She called me and said, "Hey, I need you to come take care of the dogs because Isabel has a pageant." So I did. And I told my dad, I said, "Look, I'm going to leave." I said, "You look like you're fine." Now, prior to this, that 2 nights, me and my dad had went out and had our first beer together as father and son.
Wow.
He 84 years, no, 83 years old. First time ever. And we had a steak dinner together. First steak dinner ever together at Applebee's. So I go and take care of the dogs and I don't hear from my dad. So I'm thinking, okay, everything's okay. So I call, there's no answer. So they come home. I go to the apartment and the ambulance are there. And I go in
Man.
and my dad's laying on the floor. So he had fallen off a couch probably about this high and his hands were behind his back. So he was like a turtle. So he had a stroke when he fell off the couch and became a vegetable.
Oh
Their
shit.
doctors ruled out that he had a stroke. So they said that he would go to rehab. He was so bad, like I knew that his time was near. Okay.
Mm.
And I didn't know what to do, man. My mom was already gone. I had already found out my sister was stealing shit from my dad, like money from behind like,
Mm.
through laundry and shit. So I didn't have any faith in my sister at all. Like, and no one had a car except for me. My sister didn't have a car. My dad and parents didn't have a car. Nothing. We grew up with no car. And I went to see my dad at the nursing home where they were rehabbing him. And I went into the room one night and his underwear and t-shirt was on backwards. So
Mm.
I didn't give a shit about him. And then I found out that he was getting his high blood pressure medicine. So I had called the VA and found out that, they put a new prescription in and stuff. And then I got a phone call. Well, I went to visit my dad that weekend. And I remember the nurses saying, "Oh, your dad is such a sexual typey guy. He's always making flirt remarks." And I'm like, my dad's a freaking vegetable. Like, what the fuck are they talking about? And I talked to my dad that day and I said, "I think this will be the last time I ever talk to you." I said, "I love you, Dad." And I left. And that night they called me and said, the nurse on duty called and said, "Your dad had a heart attack and he died. We couldn't revive him. He had a no resuscitation.
Right.
Oh,
Damn.
okay. I didn't know that. So then I got a call from the director and said that that information was false. The girl who called you was terminated because she didn't call anybody. It wasn't her job to call you and tell you the type of death happened. So they said, we don't know how he died. He was just found dead. So I had already set up funeral arrangements for my mom and my dad already. Thank God when they sold their house, all that was done. And I was livid. I went to the facility. They almost had to put me in a straitjacket because I
Damn.
unalived the director. When I found out from the coroner, because I had to go to the funeral home to get the cremation done, the person at the funeral home told me my dad died of high blood pressure. They name it something like cardiac something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, I have high blood pressure. What the hell is going on here? You know? So I found out that they weren't giving my dad his blood pressure medicine.
Damn.
Now I could have sued him, but I was already struggling. You know, I couldn't even pay attention.
Yeah.
Now I go home and empty their apartment. And here I am finding letters and shit that I sent them when I was private from Desert Storm, Desert Shield, when I was in Germany, when I was at Carson. Like, I'm finding all this shit that my parents had pictures of me in uniform when I was a private that I sent home because I was proud of myself. And dude, when you have to go through all that shit by yourself, no one to talk to, and then I laid the manuscript out and said, this needs to happen.
Wow.
This cannot be silent no more. So, but yeah, me and my dad sat down and talked about how he treated me and how he was sorry and could I forgive him? And I did forgive him. I did forgive him because, you know, when my sister's kids came into this world, he treated them like absolute shit. And I said, there's no way I can bring a kid into this world, man. When my daughter came into this world in 2007, my dad went cold turkey. No smoking, no drinking. And he loved my daughter so much. And my daughter
Wow.
talks about her Pappy Bill. Like, it just gives you goosebumps, man.
Yeah.
Like, I almost started crying. Like, I have a fan blowing. I could feel the goosebumps on me. But my daughter used to talk about her Pappy Bill like he was a god, dude.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for my parents, we would have never lived in the house we lived in. Like, yeah, man. Yeah. I miss my dad more than I miss my mom. And I think I know why my mom died. When you have a double cystectomy, she had cancer. She lost both her breasts, but back then they didn't do breast augmentation, you know.
Right.
She lost her will as a woman.
Yeah.
Dad stopped having sex with her and they didn't do anything. She was obese. And I took my daughter in there that day in 2014 and my mom had like a full goatee, bro. Her eyes were in her head. And I looked over at my daughter and she said, what's going on with Grammy Sue? And I was like, I think Grammy Sue's sleeping. And they called me and told me that she died that night.
Damn.
It's been a journey, man. I'll tell you, it's definitely been a journey, man.
I mean, you know, the one thing that I guess is, you know, for you that it's a kind of a blessing in disguise is you and your dad, you got to work it all out in the end. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you guys got to talk about everything that happened. And I think that's important, man. Like my wife, you know, had some family drama and she early in our marriage, we treated each other like shit. And we're still married today, thank God. But I
How
think
many years?
it's what's that?
How many years you been married?
16 this year.
Yeah, I couldn't even make it through my marriage 10 years with any sex. Yeah, man. I stayed because of my daughter, dude.
I mean, that's so impressive because I mean, you know, God. So I mean, you wrote everything, man, and you wrote it down, and I think that's important because I think these lessons, everything that you went through, just it all culminates as a story of survival and a story of thriving when you were facing odds and
Self-help, personal development,
yeah, and
military,
that's
military transition, man. The grass is
that's
not greener, bro.
that's what's so important is I want veterans, I want people that listen to this to know that no matter, like, I mean, look at you, Steve, is no matter what you go through, there's always a way out. Like you're never, no matter where you're at, there's always a path forward. The path
Yeah.
doesn't need to be off the cliff. The path doesn't need to be a gun.
We're not always healed and we're always going to have our demons. But I believe with coping mechanisms, and like I said, cooling blankets, migraine beanie. Now I
Yeah.
got called the igloo where you put it on your head. It's face like a face mask pillow type thing.
Yeah.
That's the go-to right there, man. I sleep like it. But I've done edibles,
Mhm.
liquid THC.
Right.
That's addictive. Can't do that. I'm never going to do municipal marijuana. Like I said, I went from 10 bottles of pills, 48 pills a day, to 3 pills and 3 bottles of pills. But I'm still on my cholesterol, my high blood pressure, and a mood stabilizer because you know what? I have my dog and she gets my anger issues. I say in the book, I'm the villain of the story.
Yeah.
There are other characters, man. I am the villain and I will always be the villain. Even though I'm an advocate, I don't write no more. I do all audio monologues.
Mhm.
The last 3 books I've done, The Broken Mirror, No Filter, and the Reflection series, I talk to my phone with the AI. Like I didn't tell AI to write it. I spoke it from the mind, body, and soul.
Yeah.
Then I edited and had a friend from the Gettysburg battlefield, and then a female named Johanna Marie Vendel, who edited and formatted the last book, uh, the Reflection series, which is all 3 books combined. People are like, "Look, we're tired of buying all the damn books. Why don't you put one legacy laminated special artwork, battlefield theme? Check this shit out. Battlefield theme in there,
Nice.
and then the last part that finishes the whole story is dad walking away with daughter, dad walking away with daughter, and
Uh,
my daughter in that broken mirror.
yeah.
So
That's nice.
this is $55 on Barnes and Nobles, but I'm a perfectionist, so I don't like the way it's called full bleed, where like the pictures, like this picture right here, this picture should take up the whole page.
Oh god. Yeah,
And
you're
this is
nitpicking now.
yeah, no, and that's what I told him, man. This is a like
Yeah.
people are going to spend $55 for this final trilogy, you know? So, it's not done yet, but I have the author copy. 5 books have already sold.
Oh
One
shit.
trailer for it for me, and I use it as like a I do all my marketing myself because No Filter is all about going down the rabbit hole and being scammed. And then, hell, when I start doing my public speaking, I got the rabbit and Alice on my tattoo right here, man. Talking about being going down to funnel organizations and being scammed by marketers and shit, man. There's so many people out there scamming people, man.
Nah, I mean, that's something that I get as a podcaster. None of my podcasts are monetized, and I'm so glad I chose to just do the route where I'm like, screw it, I'm paying for it. These are y'all stories. It's whatever. But
Yep.
like, I get so many scammers trying to get me to like, they're like, do you want to advertise? And I'm like, no. Like, I was like, I will grow this thing organically. But dude, hit your so you have your own show. You do your own show. What's the name of that?
Crawl, walk, run, mental health podcast.
Okay, crawl, walk,
Reason
run.
why
What do you talk? What do you
I started
talk to veterans or just
yeah,
anybody?
it started out as veterans. So it started out on the road with season 1. It was all audio. And then I started doing video,
Uh-huh.
season 2. And now I'm getting ready to wrap up season 3, which is now I've started to use AI and for the advertisements and all the pictures and stuff. And then yeah, it's doing great, man. I've interviewed the 13th Sergeant Major of the Army, Preston. I've interviewed some of my battle buddies that were sergeant majors. I've interviewed therapists and people that are going through spiritual healing.
Yeah.
Uh, I got PR teams reaching out to me from like Australia. Marine Corps veteran Scotty Fraser.
Yeah.
He was on my podcast just 2 weeks ago.
No shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
No,
his PR team reached out to me, and me and Scotty are like this now, bro.
tight.
Yeah, man.
So you've done all this, I'll attest to talking to guys is a huge help for mental health. And so do
Oh,
you get
my coping mechanism, man.
Yeah.
It's my
Yeah.
coping mechanism.
Yeah, that's why I tell people. I'm like, dude, and that's why I tell my friends, I'm like, bro, if you got problems, come on the podcast. We'll talk for 2 hours.
Yeah,
Like
man. And the other thing is the marketing.
Yeah.
It's free marketing. I do pay a couple people like donations.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting ready to be on a podcast Friday, and they're not doing so well, so I'm going to give them a donation, like
Yeah.
$50. I'm not paying like $5 to be on a show, but not like freaking whatchamacallit, the big ones where you have to pay $10,000 to tell your story.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like the dude that works for the CIA or whatever, Joe Rogan.
Oh, you pay to be on that podcast?
Hell yeah, man! Or he has his boys on there, man.
Are you talking about? Oh, well, now, like, yeah. Well, what about Sean Ryan? Do you have to pay to be on that podcast?
Yeah, man, because of the studio setups and all that.
Oh shit!
I was on Your Next Mission, 12 Sergeant Major Army Jack Tilley.
Uh-huh.
That was a good one because he does interview sergeant majors, therapists, and generals.
Wow.
They asked me to be on the show, bro.
That's wild.
Yeah, man. I thought that was wild.
A little insight for those of you still listening at the end here. This, the thing is like there's a lot of things where it's like it's not as easy. Like people just don't come on these things. I'm trying to but see, that's why I started the show. I started the show because I got tired of too many special forces guys, and I said I want the dudes that were in the trenches with me to tell their stories. And that's why it's never spec ops guys. It's guys like you. It's guys like all my other guests, man.
Do you have those type of people listening to your podcast?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Okay, so I'm not going to say anything about that community, but they're a very tight knit group. That's all I'm going to say. But some of the stories that are out there are not true.
Oh no, you're talking about people listening to my podcast that are special forces? No, probably not. But yes, and I have an episode coming out, and I told all you guys this like 4 episodes ago. I'm still working on getting the date out, but I have an episode where I'm gonna sit down with a guy, and that's what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about just some of the blatant, complete
Have you seen
lies.
New Stolen Valor coming out from the SF side? Dude, it's out on actual subject. It's making it's making news.
Yeah.
Like some of these guys, man. I mean, like, if you don't have it, don't wear it.
Bro.
As an author, you don't come on podcasts and brag about that shit, man.
Dude,
someone's gonna pull your DD Form 214, or I just saw a podcast of an author who has 10 awards. He was on a podcast, and his backdrop was his awards. And all he did was point at his award, brag about each one. Bro, it's all in the book, man. It's all in the book. You pulled up the AI. You saw everything. I don't have to sit here and tell you that I'm a 6-time award-winning author, Eric Hoffer. That is why these books made what they made, man. I didn't see it. I was down in my RV living the life, man, and I found out, bro, you were selected for Eric Hoffer. What the fuck is Eric Hoffer? One of the top book awards in the world.
That's crazy. That had to have been a crazy feeling when you got that award.
Nominated, not win, but nominated is, hey, they still said I could put the seal on the book, man.
Yeah.
But you know what I did, man? I took all the awards off the book.
Yeah.
And I just put at the top, winner of 4 major literary awards, 2-time Amazon bestseller. So, yeah, man. But I don't sell books, man. I give my books away for free, man, to people that are struggling.
That's good. I'm glad you do that.
And
so for those of you listening, do you have a website or anything? Go ahead and plug all your stuff, because I know you. Where can people find these books?
So everything is on the website. All you got to do is go to Tyme is, there's too many TIMEs out there. So I'm Story TYME with Stevo, STEVO 69, because I was born in 1969. Story time with Stevo69.com.
Okay, so story time as in the herb, TYME, and with Stevo.com.
People can't spell right. So TYME with Stevo, STEVO.com. The link tree's there. Everything's at the bottom, man. All the links for the audiobook. Plus, all three of my books are on audiobook from the same veteran.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. Because I listen to audiobooks, so I'll probably pick that up.
I'm going to send you whatever one you want, whichever one you deem. But this one here, there's only 5 tracks done. My gunnery sergeant buddy, KJ Carlos, he has done the narration of 5 tracks already, and it is amazing. One of the tracks got 20,000 views on TikTok.
Wow. Dang.
Yep. Called the 3 Pillars. All 3 books are the 3 Pillars.
Yeah.
The 3 Pillars.
Okay, guys. So for anybody that wants to pick these books up, I recommend them. I've read portions of them, and I'll tell you right now, I think it's an incredible story. If you're looking for something that you want to support a fellow veteran, you want to hear, or let's say you got somebody who's struggling and you don't want the book, buy it for someone else. Say, hey, here, read this book.
Hey, this book right here, when it was gold, see, I don't sign insides of them no more.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of books when it was gold, and I took it to the VA hospital in Lebanon in 2018. In mid-2018, one of my friends called me and said, your shit is on eBay. This book is $11.99. Guess how much they were selling the book signed by the author? I put a veteran story in it.
Yeah.
$300. And
holy shit.
Somebody picked it up from the VA and sold it.
Damn.
So now I take the books I signed the back, and for Christmas I took 25 books to my psychiatrist, because he told me that there's going to be some people in rehab over Christmas. I said, I don't care who they go to, because you ain't going to let me go out and hand them out, because I'm not allowed to.
Yeah.
Give them out as Christmas gifts, man. And tell them from one veteran to the other, man. So, but this one right here is getting ready to go. This is the only copy I have right now. One went to my daughter for her graduation, and this one's going to my psychiatrist to give to his mom.
Nice.
Yeah, so when they fix the book, then I'll actually have my own.
So if you don't want to buy all 3, you can buy the Reflection series, which is all 3 in one book. It's
$55 on Barnes and Nobles. It's on Walmart.com, and it's also on something called I think it's on Books A Million.
Okay.
Something called Snap or something like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could send you the links.
Yeah, do. What I'll do is I'll put it in the show notes. So for any of y'all wondering, I'm going to put his website in the show notes. So again, for those
out there really struggling, man, and you give me their names or their email addresses, I'll send them the manuscript, bro.
Okay.
All I ask is for a review, man.
Yeah.
If I can send you a free audiobook or a free manuscript, at least do a review, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So for anybody who wants that or wants that contact him or contact me, and we'll try to hook something up. But I'm gonna wrap it up here, man.
There's a contact form on the website.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. And it's been an awesome show, dude. I look forward to seeing everyone next week on here. And thanks again. You got any last words, Stevo?
Mental health is a life sentence without parole, man.
That's right.
The only thing I would say is I don't get no money for this stuff, man. All the money goes to a private account for my kid.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. So anything that I do, like I'm going to get ready and go out and do public speaking, I'm paying for all that out of my pocket.
Nice.
So, yeah, man.
Nice.
I'm going to try to go to military installations and talk to transitioning soldiers.
Well, there you have it, man. That's all that. So for anyone who wants to invest in other veterans, buy these books and invest in Stevo. Stevo, thanks for coming on, man. And we'll see the guys next week.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy.
stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious. I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up. Live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad.